Hey everybody, welcome back to Dominations TV. My name is Adam, and today I'm going to be bringing you guys a different sort of episode. And to get things started, I just wanted to give a sincere thank you to all of my subscribers. I just hit 200 subs, and it's actually been only 2 weeks since I hit 100. So I think that's awesome, and I really appreciate you guys supporting the channel. And I'm glad that, hopefully you enjoy the content. I'm glad to be able to bring you guys some entertainment, maybe some tips here and there. And yeah, so without further ado, I'd like to kind of dive into a little bit of the kind of what the title of the video suggests today, which is doing a little bit of a war base, or I'm sorry, a town base overview. Um, and kind of my suggestions, maybe a little bit of a guide for, you know, new atomics, or maybe what you should do when you first age into a new age. Um, so, to begin, I'd like to kind of explain what I've been doing. And like many of you guys who probably took advantage of the rush weeks and jumped up in age, or maybe even two, um, thanks to there being no wait time on upgrading to the next age. I think it takes like 14 days to go global to atomic, and for the rush weeks it was zero. It took zero time at all, just the resources. So what we preach at 5-Star Kill is my alliance, that I co-lead with a couple of other buddies, is it's all about offense. And, your offense is what wins you wars. If you have a couple of very strong defenders, you only need maybe 4 or 5 really strong, solid defenders in your top ranks of your alliance, then this leaves room for the rest of your atomic and global age players to really, really dive deep and focus hard into their offense, because that's what's going to win you wars. If you can get 5 stars on every base and have skilled attackers that get good times, then your alliance is in really good shape. So the first things that I went and did, of course, to maximize my offensive potential here in the atomic age when I aged, was to go ahead and obviously do my armory and start to unlock the troops. Okay, so I literally only got the essentials for what I use. Okay, I got my green jacket rifleman and I got my field howitzers. Alright, and if you're a tank nation, of course you want to do your tanks. Maybe I want to do my elite infantry soon. That's probably a good idea. But my next my next priority was to get a couple of these barracks done. So I got 10 extra troop space from global. I did 2 of my barracks so far, and I still have 1 more. It's tough to find the civs and the time to really bust out that last one just for 5 extra rifles or whatever. I'm having a hard time finding the motivation to get that done. But what I actually really stressed during the rush weeks was my factory. This was level 1, and I got it to level 7 in like less than a month. I maxed it out just to get the TAC helos back when they were really OP for oil rating. And do I regret it? No. But obviously they're much less powerful than they once were. I have fallen a little bit in love with the APCs. If I'm doing a lot of hardcore raiding, I love bringing usually 3 APCs with me. And I hope you guys don't mind this being a little bit of a longer video. I just wanted to kind of dive deep and talk about some stuff pretty casually with you. As far as defenses go, right? So I took kind of a weird turn. I took advantage of the oil savings during the rush week, okay? And so I did the most expensive oil upgrades, which were the fort, okay, so that's maxed out. And I did a bunker. So I brought one of my bunkers to level 4. Obviously it's pretty important on defense, because now your factories, when they're killed, are going to be spawning the MK4 heavy tanks, which are pretty beefy. Next, I did my fort, I did my bunker, and as you guys can probably tell, I got a couple of these SAM missiles done So I've got 2 of them maxed out, and I've got one about, what, 10 days away from getting maxed. I got to get that rolling real soon here. And then in the library, I had to upgrade that, and I've worked my way down to get this extra last SAM battery. Okay, so then I'll have my 4th SAM, max that out, and then I look forward to upgrading my library and getting started on radar, which is something I've been actually kind of had in my scope for a while now. I think everybody wants that. And then we did the 5.8 update, and I had to, of course, get the missile silo, and I've got that upgrading to level 2, and then I'll take that to level 3. Also, very important offensive upgrade is the airstrip. I took advantage of this also during the rush week. It was half off, as was everything, if I'm not mistaken. So I've already gone ahead and gotten my strike fighters maxed. Okay, they're also maxed in the university, and I have the transport MK6, which is maxed for global. It's a fun unit. I do have a video on why the transport will never be as good as fighters. But I think depending on how you attack and what your strategy usually is, I think it has a place in this game, especially when it's maxed atomic, and especially when you've got the fifth air slot from Amelia. So as you can see, I've gone ahead and done a lot of the basics. So the oil production, the SAM battery damage, which is pretty good on defense. I can't lie, guys. That's solid right there to help take down some planes. Strike fighter damage was the first thing I went and did, of course. That's huge. 30% more damage. That's a lot. Aircraft upgrade, cool. Air defense damage, and the air defense hit points are almost done. I went ahead and did as much of this Zeppelin damage as I freaking could. I went on a spree with it because I knew that this is like the last thing I'm gonna want to do when it comes down to the 99s. I'm gonna have to go ahead and do expensive oil upgrades I don't really want to do, and so I really wanted to get that out of the way as much as possible. And then of course this one's gonna suck too, but as you can see, the MK6 Strike Fighter hit points is also completed. And so I'm showing you this just to show you guys that I've actually maxed out my planes for atomic already, and hasn't been long since the rush weeks. Maybe 2 months, maybe 3 at the most. Why don't we dive in a little bit more with the university? Expansion time completed. That's a must to get those 21-day forests cleared. They go down to 14 days, 16 hours. And I've got my coalition power completed, just a little bit of an edge in war, and slowly working my way down to get the Triple Alliance. That's a nice little quality of life unlock. Okay, then you've got Leonardo, which I was late to the game. Okay, I really was. I never prioritized my field howies in the university. Don't ask me why. Just wasn't really on my radar until our leader Nomem really started to emphasize and voice how important these things were. And if you're kind of a newer player, or not as experienced, you're not like a mega dominations type of dude who knows everything about the game, I'm going to let you know right now that you need to get your civs in Leonardo and prioritize the crap out of them until you get your field howie damage, okay? This makes such an absurd difference. Your field howies, instead of taking 2 shots to take down like a mortar or an anti-tank gun or a tower, they take 1 shot. And that sounds kind of insignificant, but in war and even in raiding, it makes a world of a difference, because these units do fire slow. So for them to only take 1 shot to kill a building versus 2, it really, you'll notice it, man. So get that done, and I would say prioritize your DPS first over the hit points, as I've done. But yeah, University is the most important building in the game. I will be making a video on that. So I've also, since I've been playing a lot with the APCs, I did want to kind of go out of my way and get some of the assault infantry damage completed. I do need to upgrade that to the elite infantry in the armory, but you know, an extra 15% on the APC spawning troops is nice. I do love those APCs. Okay, so I've got the first 3 out of the way. And King Sejong. So this is going to be your rifles, and I'm a little embarrassed to say that this is not completed. I've been British for a very long time, and I should have this done, but I seem to always find another way to prioritize my civs. But hey, I've got a good chunk of them done, and you know, this is also extraordinarily important, especially if you're a rifle nation. You want to, you know, you need to have this done in like Enlightenment Age. I can't lie, like industrial, you know, global, atomic, but like you need to really get that done ASAP. It's gonna be with you for the entirety of dominations, and your rifles are gonna be astronomically more effective than, you know, if you hadn't touched any of this in the university. And guys, mind you, I do understand the time investment that this takes, but if I were to give you a piece of advice, it'd be stop building your defenses and start throwing all of your civs in the university if you haven't already made that a priority of sorts. I mean, it really is the most important building in the game. Sultan. Once I get my atomic defenses worked on and upped a bit, I'm going to be working on Sultan just to get these tank depot defenders and tank depot HP and damage, I meant to say, just to get that kind of a notch in that, because that can make a little bit of an edge on defense for sure. Alright guys, so that sort of wrapping it up here. I don't want to make this video too long, but you know, I did make a point recently to max out some of these barbed wires, which, as you probably can see, actually are not maxed, but I think they're one away. I do like the new skin on them once you get them to level 8 versus like the one that you're stuck with since they're like a Caltrops, which is way early on in the game. It's like the same skin, just a different color kind of. So I like this, it looks kind of cool. Let's see. Aside from that, I am just building my atomic redoubt right now, and I've still got the ballista tower to make. I mean, I've just been non-stop in the university, and the main point here today, guys, is that when you age, you want to really prioritize your offense over your defense, and that way you're not raising your war rank. Okay, you don't want to raise up your war rank right when you age by doing defenses, because you're going to be hindering your alliance by potentially creating a tougher war matchup. Right, so your defense raises your war rank a lot more than your offense, like a lot more. So you really want to be able to kill up to speed with your age, and you need to, you know, take the time to max out your offense first. And I'm going to be making specific videos in the future on war rank and on the importance of really stressing offense, and planes, and you know, these simple kind of things that you learn over time if you have a good leader in your alliance, but a lot of people don't really know. But I appreciate you guys watching, and maybe you learned something, maybe you already knew some of this stuff, but still I appreciate you, and I appreciate the 200 subscribers, man. Hopefully we can see 300 in the future, and you know, more from there. Well, hey guys, if you have any requests for videos, please leave me a comment and let me know if there's something you wanted me to dive a little bit more into, because I really do honestly read your guys' comments and try to leave feedback when I can, and I take them for what they are, and I try to really incorporate them into my videos. So yeah, have a good one, guys, and take care.